So, you may well have seen this image floating around on the internet. It is a concept image that we designed to show, in theory, what a collaboration between Samsung and Tesla could look like. And I feel like it was pretty clear that it's a concept, but the whole thing got massively taken out of context. Let me show you how it was made. We actually started off with this photo taken of the Galaxy Note 9 sitting on my desk, and slowly, one by one, adjusted each feature to fit the latest Note 10 Pro leaks, followed by this fresh coat of paint as we were going for a limited edition look. Now, I will get to the actual reason why Samsung and Tesla were the brands in mind, but there's a bit of a story here. Turns out, about a week after I posted it, somebody downloaded this image, posted it on the Chinese social media site Weibo, and then claimed that this was world's first look at Samsung's next phone. Whoever posted it literally just stuck their own watermark right on top of mine. And after this, clearly a step has been missed. Either something was lost in translation, or it's just because of the fact that over here in the West, we basically treat Weibo like some sort of magical leak factory. But anyways, this pretty obvious concept then became apparent news. Sites like Tom's Guide and Gizmo China published articles which, in no ambiguous terms, just stated that Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Tesla edition just leaked. Now, I was a bit surprised, because to me it's pretty clear that this isn't real. Marquez, MKBHD, saw this and was instantly like, this is not real. So I'm not going to start criticizing writers. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's actually kind of funny, so whatever. What then happened though is that more and more sites started picking up on this. There were some that saw straight through it, but an alarming amount that didn't. So just before I get into the concept itself, I wanted to clarify a few points. Number one, you might know that my Instagram page is filled with concepts that we've designed. I just find it really interesting, this kind of fusion between speculation and art, as well as giving people the opportunity to visualize something in a more real way than a render alone can show. Now, when I'm posting these, I do try and make it clear that this is a concept and this isn't real, and I guess in the future I'm going to try and make this even more clear, but no matter what I post, when that then gets reshared, especially in non-English speaking regions like China, the message gets lost. The second thing is that this is probably not what a leak would actually look like. A high-resolution photo of the phone and its S Pen perfectly balanced on a table. You're more likely to either get a genuine photo of this device being used in the wild, like this right here, or a leak of promotional material, like a newspaper ad, which would then almost certainly be more on brand. And you wouldn't have the slight imperfections that you see on this one. The lighting, for example, while I do think we've done a good job, is not photorealistic, and the metal texture on the back doesn't quite match the resolution of the rest of the shot. Anyways, whilst I wasn't initially planning to make a full video about this, now that we're here, I thought I would share the thought process behind why Tesla and Samsung would be quite a good collaboration for a limited edition Note 10 Pro. Because I get it, it's not immediately obvious why on earth a car brand should collaborate on something you keep in your pocket. A big part of it is to do with associations. There are already plenty of positive associations that come with owning a Samsung flagship phone. For some people, part of the reason they'll choose one is because the Samsung brand, curved metal and glass body of their phones, the powerful hardware, all signal class and sophistication. And it's in these associations where a product becomes more or less desirable, beyond just its practical use. When many people buy products, they will tend to side with something that is an extension of their personality, that exaggerates or reflects the image of themselves that they want to portray to the world. And so, bringing in a premium automotive brand like Tesla can exaggerate these premium associations, and that creates value. There's also the fact that Tesla isn't exactly alien to dabbling in smartphones. Whilst they haven't made any of their own, they have started to equip their cars with full-scale Android applications, and they've also come out with a Tesla-branded power bank and a wireless charger, and they are super well-designed products. These are accessories that I could see being packaged in a limited edition smartphone box, and if the charging speeds were beefed up, it would be a slick way of Samsung introducing faster charging into their phones. Obviously, another part of this collaboration is just purely aesthetic. The version we made is using a side trim which exactly matches the red multi-coat paint that Tesla offers on its car, and the metal on the back gives it this rare industrial look. Samsung already makes what I would say is some of the best looking smartphone hardware out there, but the benefit of a collaboration like this is that it would allow Samsung to step out of their comfort zone without risking the image of their core brand. So say for example, for the Note 10 Pro, if Samsung launched the phone with one leather, one wood, and one metal finish, that is not a great look. It's not giving a consistent message. Whereas in a collaboration like this, the product will be judged in isolation, and so even if it's a complete flop, even if it looks absolutely terrible, they'll be okay. It would more than likely just be written off as some sort of niche collab that didn't quite work out, as opposed to Samsung's top tier flagship of the year being a dud. Now, I'm not a Tesla fanboy, but I have spent a fair bit of time in a Tesla, and I personally feel like the company really gets design in a way that would complement the visual direction Android is moving in. What I mean by that is that Tesla products generally share the trait of being simple, which is different to being basic. It's the idea of packing powerful technology, but in a subtle way, such that as a user, things just feel intuitive. Clutter is at a minimum, and if you look at how Android has evolved with the simplification of menus and the introduction of gestures, I'd say the two are actually following pretty similar paths. You might have seen the Porsche design Huawei Mate 20 RS. It was Huawei's almost $2,000 superphone released at the end of last year, and I think the hardware really achieves the objective of standing out and looking ultra premium. But when you take a look at the way they've designed the software skin on the phone, to me it seems pretty clear that there's a clash. I genuinely think that instead of improving Huawei's MUI skin, they've actually made it look worse on their limited edition phone. I could be misplacing my trust here, but from what I've seen of the company, I think Tesla could do a better job of potentially streamlining the software and even complementing Samsung's One UI. Just as an example, they could sharpen up the icons, they could ditch the squircle shapes Samsung currently uses in One UI and replace them with something a little less playful and a little more understated. And the last thing that I want to say about this is that if we just put the business aspect to one side for a second, I think that Samsung and Tesla collaborating on smartphones does have some sort of room for long-term sustainability. The two companies do not just make hardware with a similar design language, but they both seem to be heading at a rapid pace in the direction of seamlessness. You might remember a rumor that for the Note 10, Samsung's original plan was to remove the hardware buttons altogether on the phone. And I remember seeing that and thinking, that is something Tesla would do. So there's definitely some synergy there. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, a sub would be massively appreciated. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.